Just gonna double check to make sure that we are live. I believe we're live. It's always best to double check. You don't want to start something and have it not be streaming. Anyway, hello and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred today and years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things that we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information comes from the smart device application Today in History, What Happened Today in History,
calendar,
and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music, and anything else we gather throughout the show, check the description, underbar, sidebar, whatever. Anyway, on with the show. I am Xander.
I am Dr. Lunk.
And today is Tuesday, aka Tuesday, March 1st, 2022. Why don't you start us off? In the year 509 BC, Publius Valerius Publicola celebrated the first triumph of the Roman Republic after his victory over the deposed king Lucius Tarquinius Superbus, nice, at the Battle of Silva Arzia.
Also, 293 Emperor Diocletian and Maximilian appoint Constantius Chlorus and Galerius as Caesars. This is considered the beginning of the tetrarchy known as the Quator Principles Mundi, four rulers of the world.
Interesting. That's really cool. I'm going to look this up, actually, because I might want to post this in the underbar.
In the Wunderbar. The Wunderbar.
293. Yes, Wunderbar. Yeah. Okay. Oh, here we go. Well, that's on Twitter. Never mind. I don't want to click that. Well, it's not telling. It's just telling me about the year. So, oh well, here we go. The four rulers of the world were in Roman Empire, Persia, China. So I guess there's two in the Roman Empire. Yeah, that's right. The two emperors that we just spoke about, or that you just talked about, and then Persia, and then China. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to add this in the underbar, but before I do, I'm going to take us down to the year 350, in which Vetranio proclaimed himself Caesar after being encouraged to do so by Constantina, sister of Constantinus II.
Also, 834 Emperor Louis the Pious is restored as sole ruler of the Frankish Empire.
Nice, that's France. Jumping on up to 1476, forces of the Catholic monarchs engaged the combined Portuguese-Castilian armies of Alfonso V and Prince John at the Battle of Toro.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Also, 1562, 63 Huguenots are massacred in Wassy, France, marking the start of the French Wars of Religion.
Dang. That's a lot of Huguenots.
Yes.
See here, 6 years later, in the year 1628, writs issued in February by Charles I of England mandated that every county in England, not just seaport towns, pay ship tax by this state. That's retarded. Like, how's a landlocked town supposed to pay ship taxes? There's no ships. Like, that's stupid.
Exactly.
That's really stupid. What the hell?
Makes no fucking sense. Also in 1633, Samuel D. Chaplin reclaims his role as commander of New France on behalf of the Cardinal Richelieu.
Cool. Many years later, in 1692, Sarah Good, Sarah Osborne, and Tibuta were brought before local magistrates in Salem Village, Massachusetts, beginning what would become known as the Salem Witch Trials. Yeah, so here we go.
Also, 1781, the Article of Confederation goes into effect in the United States.
Nice. Yep. Yeah, that was I think when the U.S. actually became the U.S. Between between 1776 and 80 something, there was like a 10 to 15 year span where we were still trying to figure out what exactly we wanted to do. So it wasn't like boom 1776, boom United States. No, it took 10 to 15 years before we finally got it right. We've spoken about this on the show a couple of times before, actually. Speaking of the U.S., in 1790, just 9 years after the previous article, the first U.S. Census was authorized. Well, we gotta know who's living here, you know?
Yes. Also in 1796, the Dutch East India Company is nationalized by the Batavian Republic.
Yeah, here we go with these companies. Like these were the corporations of the day. You know, like today we have Google and Amazon and Microsoft, Apple, all that crap. Back in the day, you had the East India Company, the West India Company, all these other companies, and they actually, as we've mentioned before in other shows, they've actually claimed land on behalf of their host countries, acting on their own entity, not being told to do so by the government. They do it by themselves. It's terrifying. If anything like that happened today, that would be awful. Can you imagine a world where Google can go into, Yugoslavia and be like, I claim this in the name of America, that'd be nuts. 1805, Justice Samuel Chase was acquitted at the end of his impeachment trial by the U.S. Senate. That's good.
Oh.
Yeah. Jumping on up to 1811, leaders of the Mamluk dynasty were killed by Egyptian ruler Muhammad Ali. So it wasn't the boxer Muhammad Ali, it was another boxer. It was another boxer. It was another Muhammad Ali.
He didn't float like a butterfly singing like a bee. He wasn't pretty. He wasn't fast.
Nope.
Also, 1836, a convention of delegates from 57 Texas communities convened in Washington on the Brazos, Texas, to deliberate independence from Mexico.
Yeah, that was back when Texas was actually controlled by Mexico at one point.
That's for the Texas Revolution.
Yeah, but unfortunately you had skipped one. Moving back a little bit to 1815, Napoleon returned to France from his banishment on Elba. So yeah, he got, as I was telling Lunk earlier today, and you should go check out infographics. Simon Whistler, I think his name is. He talks about Napoleon and his two exiles, not just one but two. And Elba was his first one. Then he got bored of being exiled, went back to France, rallied an army, took it over again, and then it eventually led up to the Battle of Waterloo, in which he was exiled even farther away, and then he died there. But then jumping on up to 1845, United States President John Tyler signed a bill authorizing the United States to annex the Republic of Texas. So here we go. So between 15 and 45, so within a 30-year period, the flags changed 3 times. Mexico, independence, and then United States.
Yep.
Well, I think this was after the Battle of Alamo, too. Sorry.
Yeah. Also in 1867, Nebraska is admitted as the 37th U.S. state.
Nice. And Nebraska is above Oklahoma, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No. Yeah. It's above it.
Yeah, it's Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, and then South and North Dakota, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Jumping on up 3 years, in 1870, Marshal F.S. Lopez died during the Battle of Cerro Corta, thus marking the end of the Paraguayan War. It's always good when a war ends. So.
While you do that, in 1871, the victorious Prussian army parades through Paris, France, after the end of the siege of Paris during the Franco-Prussian War.
Yeah. Those Jiquois and their parades.
Oh no, oh yeah, never mind. That's the Prussians, yeah.
Oh yeah, the Prussians. Oh yeah, never mind. Jumping up 365 days in the year 1872, Yellowstone National Park was established as the world's first national park. I still gotta go there. Well, no, it might explode. I was thinking of Yosemite for a minute.
Well, I'll already be up close. I have an ash cloud.
Yeah. What happened in 1893, Mr. Lunk?
In 1893, electrical engineer Nikola Tesla gave the first public demonstration of radio in St. Louis, Missouri.
Nice.
He was their version of Iron Man of our times.
Yes, he was like a steampunk Iron Man.
Yes.
See, let me look it up. What would a steampunk Iron?
Actually, I've seen how it looks. It looks awesome.
I mean, I guess it would be like the same thing as like the Mark I, but that's pretty cool. Anyway, let's see here. Jump on up to 1896. During the Battle of Adwa, an Ethiopian army defeated an outnumbered Italian force, ending the First Italo-Ethiopian War. That's right. Yeah, Italy eventually did take over Ethiopia, I believe. Because I remember in this game called Hearts of Iron, well, I play Hearts of Iron 4, or IV, and during the beginning, Italy and Ethiopia duke it out and such, just naturally. Mr. Sowen, what else happened in 1896?
1896, Henry Becquerel discovers radioactive decay.
Nice. So yeah, that's what I believe leads up to half-lives and everything.
Yep.
Jumping up to 1901, the Australian Army was formed. Just in time too, right?
Yes. Also, in 1910, the deadliest avalanche in United States history buries a Great Northern Railway train in northeastern Kings County, Washington, killing 96 people.
That's awful.
It is.
Yeah. I don't want to stay in like any snowy mountain areas. Avalanches are no joke. Even if you survive all that many thousands of tons of snow falling on you, how are you gonna breathe? How are you gonna get out? You know, you're literally just frozen like in a giant jello mold. I can't imagine a worse way to die, just being suspended like that. Jumping up to 1914, China joined the Universal Postal Union. What is the Universal Postal Union? Let me look that up real quick. The Universal Postal Union, established by the Treaty of Berne in 1874, is a specialized agency of the United Nations that coordinates postal policies among member nations in addition to the worldwide postal system. Interesting. If you would like to learn more about the Universal Postal Union, I'm going to be putting that in the underbar. And as I do, Mr. Sohead.
Yeah. In 1917, the Zimmerman Telegram is reprinted in newspapers across the United States after the U.S. government released its unencrypted text.
Yeah, unencrypted.
Unencrypted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, or uncrypted. Like either way, I guess it's the same thing. Yeah, so I bet that riled up a lot of people. It's like, what is Germany trying to do? Get Mexico to join the war against us? What the hell? And then they're promising to give them some of our states? Oh, hell no. Germany.
I can imagine the Germans saying, we'll give you, see, Texas, if you join the army,
Good Lord.
if you help us fight the country.
Once again, check out Simon Whistler. He does a whole thing about the Zimmerman Telegraph. It's a really interesting video.
I can imagine the Spanish being, nah, man, we already had a fight with them before.
Yeah.
We ain't trying to lose again.
Moving up to the year 1919, March the First movement began in Korea under Japanese rule. Well, that's confusing, but oh yeah. Well, I guess Korea was under Japanese boot for a while. Jumping up to 1921, following mass protests in Petrograd demanding greater freedom in the RSFSR, the Kronstadt Rebellion began, with sailors and citizens taking up arms against the Bolsheviks. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You want to take 1932?
Sure. 1932, aviator Charles Lindbergh, 20-month-old son Charles Jr. is kidnapped from his home in East Arwell, New Jersey. His body would not be found until May 12th.
Now that's tragic, but keep in mind, now it really is interesting, that historians pick and choose what they want to publish about people. No, you got to say everything. Charles Lindbergh was a Nazi. That is confirmed. He actually went to Germany. He was affiliated with the Nazi Party. He was outspokenly against Jews, and he actually received several medals from Germany for something. I think he flew for them or did something for them. I don't know. But Charles Lindbergh was a Nazi. Flat out. Look it up. Some American hero he was, huh? Jumping up to 1939, an Imperial Japanese Army ammunition dump exploded at Hirakata, Osaka, Japan, killing 94. This is why I don't want to live by any ammo dumps. Mr. Lunk?
Yeah.
1941?
Also in 1941, in World War II, Bulgaria signed the Tripartite Act allying itself with the Axis powers.
Yeah, the tripartite. That is a I'm gonna look this up, post a link to this because this is an important
Bulgaria.
Tripartite pact. This is an important thing. This is agreement concluded by Germany, Italy, and Japan on September 27th, 1940, 1 year after the start of World War II. It created a defense alliance between the countries and was largely intended to deter the United States from entering the conflict. So this was directly in opposition of us. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the underbar. And as I do, before I do, I'm going to take us up to 1942. Also during World War II, Japanese forces landed on Java, the main island of the Dutch East Indies, and Merak and Banten Bay, Iritan, Wetan, which is Indramayu, and Kragan, which is Rembang, today. So, wow, they did a lot of naval invasions. Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Bunch of psychopaths. Can you say that again? You kind of broke up.
In 1946, the Bank of England is nationalized.
Boo, Bank of England. Any of these world banks, globalist banks, all that stuff. Look at research the Red Shield, research the Rothschilds, and all that stuff. So, jumping up to 1947, the International Monetary Fund began financial operations.
Alright. In 1950 Cold War, Klaus Fuchs is convicted of spying for the Soviet Union by disclosing top-secret atomic bomb data.
Yeah, this guy, Klaus Fuchs, he was a real fuker. So, we should have killed him. What he did was like high treason, crimes against humanity, Awful. Jumping on up to 1953, Soviet Premier Joseph Stalin suffered a stroke and collapses and would die 4 days later. Because everybody around him was so terrified of getting Stalin that, like, even the doctors, they didn't want to touch him. Because very much like, how people are today, where if you, there's stories out there of people literally saving their lives, but then because they got a scratch, then they take them to court, for easy money. Well, essentially Stalin was doing that, but just killing people. So if he was upset by the procedure, he would just kill the doctor that saved his life. How stupid. How stupid. If it wasn't for that, yeah. Stalin would have been a much longer lasting leader. Can't lead by fear, man. What happened the next year?
In 1954, the Castle Bravo, a 15-megaton hydrogen bomb, was detonated on Bikini Atoll in the Pacific Ocean, resulting in the worst radioactive contamination ever caused by the United States.
Yeah, once again, Simon Whistler, I think it was him, I'm not sure, because the video I'm about to talk about, I've seen a while ago, but I think it was him. But check out the Bikini Atoll video, if this is him. There's, something went wrong with the calculations. I don't remember exactly what, but something went wrong with the calculations, and the explosion was vastly bigger and leaked more radiation than they thought. So it was a complete unintention. Unintention. With our government, you never know what is an unintention anymore. Jumping up to 1950. Also in 1954, armed Puerto Rican nationalists attacked the United States Capitol building, injuring 5 representatives. That's rude.
So, 1950, formation of East German National Volksarmy.
Can you repeat that? You broke up again.
1956, formation of the East German National Volksarmy.
What is that? Oh yeah, I think let me look that up. East German National Volksarmy. Copy. Paste. I did put them. The National People's Army were the armed forces of the German Democratic Republic from 1956 to 1900. The NVA was was organized into 4 branches: the Landskreiskraft, the Volksmarine, the Luftstreitkräfte, and the Grenztruppen. So you were talking about the Volksarmy, so I think I was... Well, it's part of that, so... founded on March 1st. Okay, so that's the whole thing. The Volksarmy consists of all those 4 branches. Alright. I'm going to have a link to the to this in the underbar. As I'm doing that... before I do that... Gonna go also in 1956, the International Air Transport Association finalized a draft of the radio telephony spelling alphabet for the International Civil Aviation Organization. I gotta look that up real quick, but before I do, I'm gonna add this to the underbar. What the hell is radio telephony? Look that up real quick. Radio telephone. Okay, so, the International the radio spelling alphabet of the International Civil Aviation Unit. Let me look at the whole thing. NATO phonetic alphabet. The International Radio Telephony Spelling Alphabet, commonly known as the NATO Phonetic Alphabet, NATO Spelling Alphabet, ICAO Phonetic Alphabet, or ICAO Spelling Alphabet, is the most widely used radio telephone spelling alphabet. But what the hell is a radio telephone spelling alphabet? What I'm trying to find. Whatever. I guess it's just Morse code. I don't know. But I'm going to add this to the underbar if anybody's interested. Anyway, Mr. Lunk, why don't you tell us what happened 2 years after that?
And what year?
58.
In 1958, Samuel Alonzo Starches, is appointed pro-perfect of the propagation of faith, and thus becomes the first U.S. member of the Roman era.
What is the Roman Cura? Let me check that out here. The Roman Cura comprises the administrative institutions of the Holy See and the central body through which the affairs of the Catholic Church are conducted. Alright, so he was the first U.S. member of that. That's pretty cool. Jumping on up to 1961, Uganda becomes 1961, Agenda became self-governing and held its first elections. Of course, the country is Uganda, but I had to muffin the word, you know. So, Mr. Lunk, what happened in '64?
1964, Sierra Rica volcano begins a stroboling eruption causing layers that destroy half of the town of Conarapi.
Yeah, Lahar, I don't know exactly, not sure if it's the volcanic, Lahar is a violent type of mud flow or debris flow composed of a slurry of pyroclastic material, rocky debris, and water. The material flows down from a volcano, typically along a river valley. So they essentially got like taken out by a molten hot mudslide. Let's see here. Jumping on up to 1966, Venera 3 Soviet space probe crashed on Venus, becoming the first spacecraft to land on another planet's surface. Yeah. Meanwhile, we get a man on the moon, we win the space race. Yeah, sure, we do. Yeah. Also, 1966. Go ahead.
1966, the Ba'ath Party takes power in Syria.
Ooh. What is the Ba'ath Party? Let me look that up real quick. The Ba'ath Party. The Arab Socialist Ba'ath Party was a political party founded in Syria by Michel Al-Faq, Salah al-Din al-Bithar, and associates of Zakal al-Arsuzi. The party espoused Ba'athism, which is an ideology mixing Arab nationalist, pan-Arabism, Arab socialist, and anti-imperialist interests. Jumping on up to 1971, President of Pakistan Yahya Khan indefinitely postponed the pending National Assembly session, precipitating massive civil disobedience in East Pakistan. I'm gonna add this to the underbar here. Jumping on up to 1973, Black September stormed the Saudi embassy in Khartoum, Sudan, resulting in the assassination of 3 Western hostages. This is why I don't go overseas. Don't go into any country that doesn't like where you're from. Doesn't matter what the country is. Mr. Lunk, are you still there?
Yeah, 1974 Watergate scandal. 7 are indicted for their role in the Watergate break-in and charged with conspiracy to obstruct justice.
Good. You know, the best thing that ever happened to this country is, getting rid of Nixon after what he did, getting us all tied in with China. Piece of crap. Jumping on up to 1981, Provisional Irish Republican Army member Bobby Sands began his hunger strike in HM Prison Maze.
1990, Steve Jackson Games is raided by the United States Secret Service, prompting the later formation of the Electronic Frontier Foundation.
What did Steve Jackson Games do? Let me look that up. Steve Jackson raid. Okay, well, what? Why did Steve get raided? Okay. On March 1st, 1990, the offices of Steve Jackson Games in Austin, Texas were raided by the U.S. Secret Service as part of a nationwide investigation of data piracy. The initial news stories simply reported that the Secret Service had raided a suspected ring of hackers. Gradually, the true story emerged. Ooh. Alright, well, I'm going to add this to the underbar. While I'm doing that, oh, you did 90, so I'm going to jump on up to 1991 here. Uprisings against Saddam Hussein began in Iraq, leading to the death of more than 25,000 people, mostly of which were civilians. Wow. Wow. God, how many tens of thousands of people die every day, in events like this? This is nuts.
Yeah. Also, in 1998, Titanic became the first film to gross over $1 billion worldwide.
That's impressive. Very impressive. Jumping on back 6 years, we unfortunately missed one. In 1992, Bosnia and Herzegovina declared its independence from the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. And then going back up on the track here, in the year 2002, the U.S. invasion of Afghanistan, Operation Anaconda, began in eastern Afghanistan.
The Anacondas don't like nothing unless it got buns, hon.
Yeah. What else happened in 2002?
The Invasi environmental satellite successfully launched aboard an Ariel 5 rocket to reach an orbit of 800 km or 500 miles above the Earth, which was then the largest payload at 10.5 m long and with the diameter of 4.75.
Yeah.
4.5.
800 km is 800 kilometers, and the M after 10.5 and 4.57 stands for meters. Jumping on up to 2003, management of the United States Customs Service and the United States Secret Service moved to the United States Department of Homeland Security. That makes sense.
Yeah. Also in 2003, International Criminal Court holds its inaugural session in The Hague.
Nice. 2 years later, in 2005, in Roper versus Simmons, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that the execution of juveniles found guilty of murder is unconstitutional. I don't know, man. Murder's murder. I mean, I get kids don't understand things, but at a certain level, I mean, if you're 17, you're still a juvenile. But at 17, with the internet and how society is today, you sure as shit know to do better. You know what murder is. So, come on. It's not unconstitutional. Jumping up to... Go ahead.
Oh, okay. 2006, English language Wikipedia reaches its 1 millionth article, Jordan Hill Railway Station.
That's pretty cool. I'm going to look this up, actually. Jordan Hill Railway Station is a side-platform suburban railway station in the Jordan Hill area in the west end of Glasgow, Scotland. The station, which is governed by Transport Scotland and managed by Abellio ScotRail, lies on the Argyll line and the North Clyde line. Alright, so I'm going to post the 1 millionth article on Wikipedia in the underbar. That's really cool. In 2007, tornadoes broke out across the southern United States, killing at least 20 people, including 8 at Enterprise High School.
Yeah. Also, 2008, the Armenian police clashed with peaceful opposition rally protesting against alleged fraudulent presidential elections. As a result of 10 people are killed.
Dang. Sounds a lot like the January 6th thing we had about a year or so ago. Yep. Last but not least, in 2014, 35 people were killed and 143 additional were injured in a mass stabbing at Kunming Railway Station in China. I remember that. Wow, this guy stabbed to death 35 people and injured another 143. So, let's see here. 143 plus 35 equals... So this guy assaulted at least 178 people. He killed 35 of them, injured 143, but he might have missed a couple. Who knows? But dude, could you imagine taking on 100? What the hell does this guy think he's like a Ninja Gaiden or something? That's nuts. Who assaults 178 people with one knife? This guy's out of his fucking mind. Anyway, births and deaths. You know what? I'm just gonna say that the most important article today was the one I just read. That's just bananas. What's your favorite one, or anyone interesting for you?
Tesla demonstrates the radio.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah. Anyway, getting into bursts, let's do our normal canter here. Starting it off in 1105, we have Alfonso VII, the King of Leon and Castile.
In 1577, Richard Weston, first Earl of Portland.
1812, we have Augustus Pugin, an English architect who co-designed the Palace of Westminster. Let me look that up real quick, actually. Palace of Westminster. You know how I like to look up buildings. I'm a sucker for architectural. Oh, that thing! Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, so basically the Parliament building, Big Ben, and all that stuff. Yeah, so he co-designed that. That's sick. I can't wait to
find that in Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Oh, nice.
I can't wait to see it. Huh. Also, in 1814, we have Henry Carey, U.S. sportscaster.
It's Harry Carey. Like Harry Potter?
Harry Carey.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Harry Carey, by the way, is slang for suicide. He
that's Harry. No, that's Harry Carey.
Oh, I thought it was Harry Carey.
Harry Carey.
My dad lied to me. Jumping on up to 1927, George O. Abel, a U.S. astronomer, professor at UCLA, a science popularizer, and skeptic. So that's cool.
Damn.
See, that's how you... I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's how you get it done. You popularize, but you also, you also keep it in check. Certain aspects of the world, like science. That's really good. Sorry, go ahead.
Also, in 1947, we have Alan Thicke, U.S. Canadian actor and composer. Also the father of Robin Thicke.
Okay.
The singer. Yeah. That's his father.
1965, we have Booker T, a U.S. wrestler and sportscaster.
Can you dig it, sucker?
And then, yeah, this is yours. 1966?
In 1966, we have Zack Snyder, U.S. director, producer, and screenwriter. Who did films like 300, Watchmen, Justice League.
You want to know something funny about 300? You want to know something funny about 300? There's so much slow motion in that if you actually go in there and edit the movie to normal speed, all the slow motion parts, the entire movie is 36 minutes long.
I believe it.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah.
Wow. Talk about cutting corners. Jumping on up to 1987, we have Kesha, a U.S. singer, songwriter, and actress. Let me look up her real name, because of course nobody names their child Kesha, especially when the S is a $sign. Well, I guess I was wrong. Kesha Rose Serbet, formerly stylized as Kesha. So I just have to eat my own foot now. And we have one more birth. It's a really unfortunate one, but we have to cover it just to, yeah. Mr. Lunk?
Yeah. Also, in 1994, we have Justin Bieber, Canadian mistake. I would say Justin Trudeau's more of a mistake. At least Justin Bieber actually matured over the years.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah, he got hit with Lyme disease and changed his fucking life around.
Well, I still don't like the fact that he advocated against people like, singing cover songs and such on YouTube. That's how he got his start. Like, he supported a government ban on doing what he did. What a jackass. Justin Bieber, if you're watching this, fuck you. Jumping on up to the deaths, near 492, we have Felix III, Pope of the Catholic Church.
And in 1773, we have Luigi Vanatelli, Italian architect who designed the Palace of Castria.
Let me check that out. Palace of Casterta. Let's see here. Images. Ooh. Whoa. Damn, dude. That's sick. I'm going to save that picture. That's wallpaper material right there. Damn. Oh. Jumping on up to 1841, we have Claude Victor Perrin, Duc de Belluno, French general and politician who was a French minister of defense.
And in 1991, we have Edwin H. Lamb, U.S. scientist and businessman who co-founded the Polaroid Corporation.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Remember, stick a Polaroid in the memory of him.
Yes. Yes. And last but not least, in 2006, we have Nira Sira Bente Mohammed Fauzi, Singaporean rape and murder victim. Not good. Not good.
No.
But anyway, that concludes the show. Once again, check the underbar for any links you may be interested in, which also includes
Sohin TV on Twitch.
Go check them out, subscribe, and get updates and all that jazz, rigmarole. I have no idea what the hell to do on Twitch, so we don't have a Twitch. I don't think we will. I'm not sure. But anyway, for your dose of Passive Events Daily, check us out. We stream every day, normally around noon, 11 to 1 Pacific time, which is also...
So, what? Oh, you're talking about,
11 to 1 Pacific time, I think, is 1 to 3 your time.
Yeah, 1 to 3 my time.
Yeah.
Central.
Yeah. Alright, don't forget to look right and left at every other section, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until tomorrow, you'll see us then. Toodles!